Friends start disappearing. Suggestions appear about how he should dress. Questions about why he spends so much time at the gym. And every time he gives in, believing he's being flexible, he loses a small piece of what originally attracted her. 1 year later, he's unrecognizable. He abandoned the hobbies that defined him, let go of friendships that lasted decades, changed the way he speaks just to avoid conflict. And she looks at him with barely concealed contempt, because the man she was drawn to no longer exists. He was replaced by a diluted version designed to maintain harmony. Here's the brutal irony. He followed every modern piece of advice about healthy relationships, and the attraction still died. But here's what the system can't control. Every man who wakes up inevitably wakes up 5 more. Because when your friends watch you after leaving a toxic relationship, something shifts inside them. They see your energy return, your health visibly improve, your bank account grow without constant emotional drain, your mental clarity come back, and then they do their own math. And when they do it honestly, without self-deception, they reach the exact same conclusion. Now stay with me, because this is the part that changes everything. Society still aggressively sells an outdated script. Find a partner, fall in love, commit, marry, have children. That's the only path to fulfillment. But this awakened generation looks at that path and sees something radically different. They see exponential obligations with no equivalent return. They see one-sided legal risks where the state is not on their side. They see impossible expectations marketed as basic standards. And at the end of that road, they see 55-year-old men who sacrifice 30 years building something that someone else destroyed in a single bad quarter. And they decide no, there's another way. Now observe what happens when a 38-year-old woman who maximized options in her youth suddenly wants stability. She discovers that stable men are no longer interested in being a backup plan. The men who built strong careers, elite health, and meaningful assets while she explored now hold all the leverage. And they chose option 0. They chose to keep building alone. Because alone, they went exponentially further. This reversal of power is what triggers systemic panic. Desperate articles asking where the good men went. Videos of women complaining about lack of male commitment. Conferences warning about a masculinity crisis. But it's not a crisis. It's a collective awakening. It's not fear. It's cold strategic calculation. It's not immaturity. It's emotional and financial intelligence applied without sentimentality. And here's the truth that destroys entire narratives. These men do not need relationships to feel complete. They don't need external validation or emotional rewards, because the reward is in the act of building itself, in mastering valuable skills, in creating something no one can confiscate. When you see that 42-year-old traveling solo through South America, or the 35-year-old balancing his business and his training, or the 39-year-old reading 50 books a year, don't look at him with pity. He is living with an intensity most people will never experience. No diluted energy, no fragmented attention, fully focused on what he chose. And that concentration produces extraordinary results, because he discovered the secret the system desperately tries to hide. Male fulfillment never depended on female validation. It depended on meaningful self-construction, on clear purpose executed consistently, on operational freedom to pursue a vision without weekly emotional disruptions. And once you experience that, the price to give it up becomes astronomical. This is the generation that redefined success on its own terms. It rejected a social script that no longer works. It chose construction over diluted commitment, operational peace over temporary validation, strategic freedom over infinite emotional obligation. And by doing so, it became the most disruptive force to the existing system. Because men who don't need female approval cannot be manipulated with traditional tactics. You can't control them with social shame. You can't extort them with sexual access. You can't domesticate them with threats of abandonment. They are immune to the tools that worked on previous generations. So when someone tells you that you need a partner to be complete, smile, and keep building your empire. When they ask when you're going to settle down, remind them your mind is already settled in your vision. And when they look at you with pity because you're alone, remember this with absolute clarity. You are living the life millions of married men secretly envy every single day. Building without asking permission, deciding without consulting committees, creating without justifying every move. And that is not social failure. That is sovereignty.